3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Space to maneuver at the 40. Touchdown, Carolina! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. On the stop, it's Delvin Breaux. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait. Get after people, that allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Luke Kuechly in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A very solid gain of 27. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free points for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip at his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. K1 Short in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions, in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
2nd and 10, Newton again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there.
Double tight. Double tight. Hey, 4 down. Set. 180. Let's get it hot. Right. Check. 59.
On first, they go right back to Collins. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davis. Time to check the defensive starters here for Kansas City. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Set. 180.
On second down, here's Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw is Newton. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kerry Hyder in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Kerry Hyder in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
To throw, it's Mahomes. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The fake punt gets them 13 yards. A huge play on special teams. It's a 1st down. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, switch gears.
They'll run with White. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other. way.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Newton now on second down. Airing it out for Olsen. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. They give him a gain of 38. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist.
And out come the Chiefs now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 23 yards on the play.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
Now a toss play. This is White. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a 1st down.
Now this time Mahomes will throw. And he's got it. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll run for it. This is White. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. James White with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Newton now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
12 yards on the return that time, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Dante Jackson picks it, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it.
Personal
Indeed,
foul.
here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Funchess with a catch over the middle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Newton now to throw. It's caught by Funchess. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Now Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Mohamed Sanu, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
After review of the
Gano
play,
now to add the extra
on the field
point.
stands.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 14-10. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Here's White. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop. The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. On second down, here's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now Mahomes forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding. Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal
I think
foul.
this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Butker now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So, you sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Mahomes to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Mahomes going to throw out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go through a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now here's Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there. And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now here comes Kansas City. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throwing now is Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And this one's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Mahomes now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. To throw, it's Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
That's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah,
looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. When I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Off play action. Morrow. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. K'Wan Short. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. This is caught inside the 15. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And now here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run on the ball. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, that's White. Fights off the defender. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. On 3rd down. That's Lindsey. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Butker able to put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Now from a defensive perspective, though, well, we were on hand for